Hello everyone, myself Padmaja, Associate Professor, Department of CSE, Institute of Aeronautical Engineering, Hyderabad. Now, let us begin with the introduction to Python programming language. Now, first of all, we should know who is the inventor or creator of Python programming language. So, you can see over here, the Guido van Rossum is the Dutch programmer who has best known for the Python program, who is the inventor for the Python programming language. Now, coming to introduction to the Python language, first of all, Python is a high-level general purpose programming language and it was started in the year 1991 and it was further developed by the Python Software Foundation. Now, this language was named after the inventor of the language was fond of the comedy television show Monty Python's Flying Circus, but it is not related to the Python snake name. Now, it is a very easy language, which is your high-level language and easy to learn, and it is very easy for the beginners also. Now, the syntax of Python programming language is simple and it has many resemblance with other programming languages like the features of C++ and Java, and also it has derived the features from C language also. Now, Python is a highly indented language. That means you have to follow proper indentation whenever you are writing the lines of code for a loop, for a function, for a class and so on. So, which line, the lines of code must be properly indented. Now, there are two major versions of this language. One is called Python 2 version and the other one is called Python 3 version. Now, coming to the features of the language, first of all, it is very easy to learn. Any beginner can learn this language easily and it has more number of functions, built-in functions and your user-defined functions also you can write, and because of the more functionality provided, it is very easy to learn. Then, it is object-oriented programming language. It supports the object-oriented concepts like C++ or Java. Then, it is an open source programming language. You can simply download from python.org and you can start using the language without paying a single penny. Next is called, it supports your exception handling mechanisms and it has a very standard large repository of libraries. Then, it is doing automatic memory management. Then it is cross-platform. That means you can use this language on different platforms and it is a readable language. These are only some of the features of Python programming language, but if a more number of features is also available. So we discuss about the important features of Python language here. Now let us discuss these features one by one. First of all, what is cross-platform? Cross-platform means Python is available and can be run on different operating systems such as Mac OS, Windows, Linux and so on. So you can run on different platforms. Next is open source. Python is a open source programming language. You need not pay for it. Third one is called, it has large standard library concept. So Python comes with large number of libraries or modules where a number of built-in functions available to you. Ready to use functions are available to you in different modules or libraries. Next is called, it supports object-oriented programming language, like this language has a support for object-oriented concepts like C++, Java and C#, and so on. Now, Python supports your exception handling. That means whenever you write your code, then if you are using exception handling mechanism, then your code will be less prone to errors and you can write your code efficiently. Then it is easy to learn because of the high level language and it is an English type language. Then it is very easy to use it. Then memory management. Python will do automatic memory management, garbage collection and so on. That's why you you need not bother about how to allocate memory and deallocate memory whenever you are using the Python objects. Now, if you will talk about the features of Python programming language, then there are basic data types available like your numbers. So, number is a data type which consists of floating point numbers, integers, complex numbers, your unlimited length, long integers also, and booleans also. So, then we have strings which supports both ASCII and Unicode formats. Python supports ASCII and Unicode, both the formats it supports. Then followed by the other sequences like list, dictionary, sets, and so on. Now, Python supports object-oriented concepts, and the major object-oriented concepts are your inheritance concept. So, the code what you write can be grouped into modules and packages also. So, the language also supports how to raise the exception and how to catch the exceptions. Now, if you are coming to data types of Python programming language, then the data types are highly dynamically typed. That means mixing your incompatible types. Suppose, for example, you want to add an integer with a string, then it is not possible because both are different types. So, mixing incompatible types causes an exception to be raised. Then, Python consists of advanced programming concepts like your generators and comprehensions. Now, Python is having automatic memory management facility so that you need not worry about how to do manual allocation of memory and deallocation of memory. It is done automatically. Now, let us come to the brief history of Python programming language. So, Python is a highly scalable, object-oriented and functional-oriented programming language. It supports three types of programming concept. One is called the structured programming concept, then the functional programming concept, and also object-oriented concepts. Now, coming to the versions of Python programming language, the first version 0.9.0 was released in the year 1991. Then Python version 1.0 was released in 1994, followed by Python 2.0 was released in October 2000, Python 3.0 was released in year 2008, and the latest version Python 3.9 is released in December 2020. So, Python is doing a lot of progress, and all the codes or the bug fixing they are doing and giving the new releases in every 1 or 2 months. Now, coming to the scope and dominance of this language, if you will see the trend, the popular languages of the year, every year if you see the trend, then in the Google search engine, Python is in the lead position and it is trending in the market. Now, what is the scope of this language? So, if you will see the scope of this language, Python is a popular programming language in different technologies and also for the career perspectives. And opportunities are rising for Python programmers all over the world to implement the latest technologies like AI and machine learning. Next is Python codes are very simpler and faster, readability is more, and that's why most of the companies are preferring this language to develop their applications. Now, Python has only a single drawback, that it is lagging in your competitive programming. For example, because it is an interpreted language, so it runs slowly than the compiler-based languages. Now, coming to the applications of Python programming language, then Python programming language has supports for web development like Django, Flask. These are the various application softwares available in Python. Then it is also helpful for software development. Then it is also helpful for database systems, then machine learning, then your game development and various desktop applications. So these are few of the applications that we have mentioned here. Now, coming to the advantage and disadvantage of Python programming language. Advantages are improved productivity you will find. Then it is an interpreted language, so dynamically typed, open source, vast library. So these are the some of the advantages of the language. Coming to the disadvantage, it is slower in speed because of the interpreter. Then it is not having much libraries are not suitable for mobile computing at this stage. Then the database applications, then it is still not preferred. It is used but still not preferred in multiple database applications. Then it has runtime errors and it has some design restrictions. So these are few of the disadvantages we have to consider. Thank you. In this video, we have learned about the introduction to Python programming language, what are the features of Python programming language, and what are the application of the language. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.